Anyway, so hopefully this time I won't get interrupted constantly, because when somebody else is doing what they're recording, and that has to be quiet on the set, even though like that person has a door they can freaking close, but I don't. Somehow, it doesn't matter if it's me. It just matters only if it's certain other persons that are not me. Whatever. Thus is my life and my situation. Anyways, I don't know if my other vlog made that much sense because of all the people talking, and I was talking about various like books and stuff. I am thinking about that. There's so many things to like. It's just a lot of brainstorms lately. And when I was vlogging earlier this morning and earlier this afternoon, I was trying to like get more into like this concept of like synchronicities and so on. And there's this concept of like, it just keeps coming up a lot, and I've thought about it myself, and it's funny how certain things that I think about on my own privately that I'm not telling anyone, and I'm not writing about, typing about, blogging about, or even talking about, and then other people start to say the things I'm also thinking, and it's like, and it just becomes more and more. And one of them is this concept of like the daemon or daimon. If you know anything about philosophy, which I do, Socrates was known to have this kind of being, this person, this non-physical person that he communed with, which, depending on which translation you read, will refer to it as a god or a dog. Other times it's a genios or a jinn or some kind of a guardian angel. Sometimes it's a dog or a god or dog-headed god. I don't know. I've read so many interpretations of it. And he has like the simping cuck kind of subservient aspect to it. Like he was afraid of it, or afraid of him. Not necessarily afraid, but kind of. Like if he didn't comply or appease, or if he kind of didn't go along with this guardian or god or whatever of sorts, this genie, whatever, guardian angel, whatever you want to call it, he felt like he didn't have a choice. And like if you've read the Apologia or Defense of Socrates, in court, he actually explains his relationship with this being that was with him a lot. Basically always with him. And that, because he was in court accused of being an atheist, as though that was some kind of crime, apparently. And he just didn't care for their pantheon of gods, and he had his own, like, god or genius or guardian angel or whatever, daimon, which has different variations. Actually, let me pull that up. Cut. There we go. So daimon, there we go. Daimon. Oftentimes another one is more of like a teacher, godlike. I don't know if I like this word. Fate. I don't know. I don't actually think it's deity. I don't believe in these kinds of things. I just think it's another being. I think actually that most of us, not all of us, but most human beings, I would like to believe, have a soul. However, I don't feel like everyone does, or there's artificial souls, and then there's like things like psychopaths and NPCs, which in many research groups has kind of become sort of a taboo thing to talk about. And let's see, so this is one where it's like this tutelary deity, or a totem. Sometimes that's a thing. That's another one where it's more of like an animal, whatever. And I have this weird feeling like with, oh wow, it even mentions Goethe, wow. I didn't know that. I didn't know that. Okay, learn something new every day. Whatever. Anyway, oh, here's a Minoan genius performing a libation. Okay, I don't do any of that crap. I don't do any of that crap. I don't do sacrifices. I don't do libations. I don't do offerings. I don't do any of that crap. I do, however, have experiences with my friend who's passed away. I also used to, or previously had experiences with something else when I was younger, which just went away by like around 2009 into 2010. And then it kind of started to die down around 2007 anyway. And then by 2009, and after, it just kind of, it just wasn't a thing. And then I completely was like, what the heck? Like, did I imagine it? I don't know. I used to record all these things. I also, because I was like a new agey person, I heavily believed in a variety of things. I also got into things that I don't think was a good idea at the time, but seemed legit, and I regret that quite a bit. Like, there was these two sisters, psychics, and they had a whole group of people, and I didn't think they were bad people. They didn't seem like bad people, but they did have some shadiness in the background. Not because they were evil people, but they had some skeletons in the closet, and there were other people involved, and maybe various kinds of showing off and fakers, and a lot of that stuff turned my concepts on its head. And then luckily I had already been a fan of the Paracast and David Biedny, and then at some point we became friends around that time period. And then I got to know him. He also had a really bad breakup, and then he went insane dating various different women for various reasons, and I was still friends with him through all of that, and some of it was like really nuts. Anyway, since he passed, and I didn't know he died because he was moody, and he would, apparently, I think he did this with various persons, and some people who he was very friendly with and very close, that were also very big names, probably huge names at this point, who were like kind of nobody at the time when he first started talking to them on the Paracast. He had various kinds of falling outs with them, and they would take it to this weird psycho level. And even though he was known as quote-unquote the angry human, he was actually a very nice person and very civil. And if he had been putting up with things for a while, and then now you've crossed a line with him, he's no longer nice. He can be a real, like, he can stick it to you, right? He never really did that to me, but he could be harsh in other ways. I don't know if harsh is really, well, maybe you could kind of say the word harsh. I don't think he meant it to be, there's certain criticisms or critiques or whatever he could give or say or whatever here and there that could sting or zing or whatever, but by that point I had already toughened up, and my skin had thickened, that it didn't really like hurt me or whatever, but like there was stuff that he said that I didn't like. Overall, I would say I was almost entirely copacetic with him. Most of the things about him we agreed about. We also could disagree, which was actually not a bad thing. It was really a good thing. And I liked having the differences because they could be also like complementary. And overall, I felt like that relationship was very, very positive, even though he suffered severely from Job's disease and whatever else was going on. I knew something was wrong. I could tell. And so towards the end, like, I would just put up with his like grumpiness, or like he used to do this thing where he would like blow me off, which I freaking hate. I hate it so much. I really hate it. And he would do that. And he's also one of the only persons ever to have lived that could make me blush. So there's that. Anyways, I have been experiencing like unusually like weird dream states or whatever in the morning, and I don't know what to think of it, and I'm interacting with someone. I'm usually more inclined to think it's a version of him because he does this. He will oftentimes sort of alter what he looks like or play a character. I don't know if it's because he was in the drama department in Yale, or he's just goofy like that. And it's not not really a bad thing. It's usually like good, and he will do just weird or funny, or he'll give me information or something. I oftentimes cannot remember all of it, but it's been happening every day for like the past 3 days. And I didn't really get to write down. I had a lot of weird, long, drawn-out series of experiences yesterday. I should probably write down. I just didn't do it yet. But I noticed that, so there's the channel Third Eye Drops, which I mentioned in one of my other vlogs today that I recorded today. And I'll just show it real quick. Third Eye Drops. And I feel like a lot of things that were kind of taboo or whatever are no longer taboo anymore. Everything from like shrooms to microdosing to, I don't know, breakthrough trips, ayahuasca or whatever, are no longer quite the taboo that they used to be. And this is Michael Phillips. He will talk about a variety. It's so interesting how he'll talk about things. He's like the only other person that I can think of in this space who talks about things that I'm also interested in. Now, he's one of the types of person who wants to have this experience of this daimon, whatever. I didn't ask for it. I did not ask for this. And I was avoiding it like the plague. I was experiencing the weirdest things, both when I was dreaming to like a prankster level. I wouldn't say he was a bully. But he ramped it up because he really wanted to be noticed. He also was sort of simpy at times. And then because I play Pokemon Go, I'm not really playing as much right now because I'm kind of really bummed about it because of my leg injury. And he would do all kinds of things when I was outside walking around, and I kept actively ignoring it, and I was so stubborn. And these things, because he would ramp this stuff up, and it would make me like so uneasy, and I would experience these freaking things, and it was freaking me out. Also, my teacher, Bill Martone, died, whom I notice whenever I mention Bill Martone, or I'm talking about Bill Martone, especially recently, for whatever reason, I start to have, especially in my feeds, in my Twitter feeds, especially my YouTube feed, even if I don't have my phone near me, but when I'm talking about, especially when I'm verbally talking about Bill Martone, I will get all this like ballerina stuff like everywhere. It will get, and it doesn't matter what platforms, like TikTok. I'm not really on TikTok that often. Same thing with Instagram, which I'm also not really on very often. Twitter, and it could be things that are not even related to video and music or whatever, social media. It could be other platforms, and it's like everything is ballet. I don't know why. Oftentimes it's usually dragons, because that's a reference to me. And so that's a thing. And however, my connection, my relationship with David is like this. If anything, it's like this daimon thing. I have had very interesting dreams, weird dreams, wacky dreams, comedic dreams. He's quite the colorful, creative character, expressive character. And then I've had also very like lovey-dovey, like buddy, hey, you're my buddy kind of experiences. Overall, mostly it's like the lovey-dovey, like nice kind of. I've had like cuddly kind of sweet. Also, I've had weird like how can I even use words like weird like abraxas, ethereal, like it's out there, like profound. Also, he has quite the flair for the dramatics. He's so dramatic, and he will ham it up. He will also like he seems to delight in the fact that, especially when I'm dreaming, I can't always catch on that I'm dreaming. Like I don't go full. It's hard for me to get fully lucid, and I'm really frustrated with this because when I wake up, it's pretty obvious that there's the things that I'm not getting. Like I'm just not getting it. I don't just not clicking. It's like there's this lock on me, and it's hard to break out of this locking thing. And he thinks it's funny. He really thinks it's funny. Anyway, so I mess around with a lot of AI music stuff because I'm an evil person, of course. I have all kinds of mixed feelings about it, and I was messing around with stuff today, again, and I have uploaded like my own things that I recorded that are my voice, my melodies I've played on like keyboard apps and whatever. Stuff that I wrote when I was younger, much younger, even 6 years old. And so like the AIs kind of at times seem to have a personality. It's kind of weird. And their choices in things that they do, that they elect to do on their own, are not things I asked it or programmed it to do. And I hate that. I really don't like if I told you to do these specific things, why did you add this weird crap in there? I hate it. But like, so I have
in the world of blue fairies, in the world of blue fairies, in the world of blue fairies,
there's my melody. I am obsessed with 90s techno, especially, and Schlager, and high energy and happy hardcore. I don't understand why this platform doesn't know what Gabber is. It has no concept of Gabber at all. Anyway, this is another one. So when it comes to doing the prompts and stuff, I've figured out a variety of that. Then there's like certain ways where you can kind of sort of sample something as a reference, which gets into legality weirdness. But I've managed to do, there were these concepts of things I was trying to do to program it to do, and it wasn't doing it. And so I used certain kinds of clips of certain things. And I don't want to get in trouble, but I did do that. And I have this concept of, well, I'll do it in English first. Well, actually, there's other clips of stuff that I use that nobody owns, even though I got some of it from Udio. And when it reworked, so this I used the AI to do, or these two. This is what it came up with. I have no idea why it went to English, because the original thing is in German. It's such a ham. It's really a ham.
Photo booth flash, crooked frame.
I have no idea why it added a male vocal, and then here's the other one. Got very EDM / Steve Aoki, like 2012 and Zed and whatever else.
Photo booth flash, crooked frame.
So why does it sound like 2012? Anyway, I did some variations on this clip and with other lyrics.
Wir sind hier. Die Nacht wird. In der Dunkelheit blitzen Augen auf. Der Djinn ruft mich, lockt mich in seinen Lauf. Mit Charme und Glanz, sie spielt ihr Spiel. Das Verlangen wächst, ich fühl das Ziel. In den Schatten der Macht, gewohnt ist das volle Leben. Verfümmel ihn im Argen. Das Verlangen, es wird kaum ertragen. Doch ich drehe mich um, bleibe zielstrebig. Die Erde ruft, ich bleibe lebendig. Doch ich bleibe standhaft, bleibe hier. Die Erde ruft, das höre ich viel. Entrückte Welt, ich bleibe weit weg. Die Tiere schützen, das ist mein Zweck. In der Nacht, die Schatten flüstern leise. Ein Flüstern voller Macht, ein süßer Preis. Femme fatale, sie tanzt im Licht. Mit einem Blick, sie bricht die Pflicht.
Alright, and then I have another version.
Wir sind hier, die Nacht wird erweckt.
I have no
Die femme
idea
fatale,
why it wanted to chant
sie ist perfektioniert.
but it not, it's not asked for that.
Verführt mit ihren Augen. Das Verlangen, es wird kaum ertragen. Die
Still no
Femme
beats.
fatale weit weg.
There we go.
Die Tiere schützen, das ist mein Zweck. In der Nacht, die Schatten
Where'd the
flüstern
beats
leise.
go?
Ein Flüstern voller ist die Femme fatale. Hast, was ich liebe, habe ich immer noch die Macht, mich zu lehnen. Ich habe immer nicht die Welt, mein Herz zu bewahren.
Very Steve Aoki. I don't know. I like Steve Aoki. That's not what I was going for. And then this is, I think it's a different. This is different lyrics.
Wir sind hier. Die Nacht wird erweckt. Die Femme fatale. Sie ist perfekt.
By the way, so these are variations of stuff that I was working with that I actually wrote. But I was also I literally did type a lot of these things originally, but then I was like reworking things with the AI, and the AI seemed to really like to play up the whole Save the Earth thing and the Femme Fatale thing, which was not the main thing, but it really seemed to be fixated with that.
Bleibe zielstrebig, die Erde ruft. Doch ich sag nein, ich bleibe hier. Die Erde ruft, ich höre das Tier. Ihrem Summen die Gefährten bahnen. Die wilden Herzen, sie brechen die Karten. Doch ich bleibe stand, bleibe hier. Die Erde ruft, ich höre das Tier. Ihrem Summen die Gefährten bahnen. Die wilden Herzen, sie brechen wie Garten. In der Nacht, die Schatten flüstern leise, ein Flüstern voller Macht.
Also, the AI seems to really like to play up the the Schatten der Nacht, in the shadows of the night. It seems to like this very like kitschy kind of stuff. My actual concept is not that kitschy, but I don't know, whatever. It just, that's what I'm kind of working with at the moment.
Die femme fatale.
See, die femme
Sie ist
fatale.
perfektioniert. In der Dunkelheit blitzen Augen auf. Der Djinn ruft mich, lockt mich in seinen Lauf. Mit Charme und Glanz, sie spielt ihr Spiel. Das Verlangen wächst, ich fühl das Ziel. Doch ich drehe mich um, bleibe zielstrebig. Die Erde ruft, ich bleibe lebendig. Doch ich bleibe standhaft, bleibe hier. Die Erde ruft, das höre ich viel. Entrückte Welt, ich bleibe weit weg. Die Tiere schützen, das ist mein Zweck. In den Schatten der Nacht, die femme fatale lacht, verführt mit ihren Augen. Das Verlangen, es wird kaum ertragen. In der Nacht, die Schatten flüstern leise, ein Flüstern voller Macht, ein süßer Preis, die femme
I don't
fatale.
know if I love these lyrics though. Are they good or are they too cheesy or do they suck? Because they'll kind of make sense, but then I'm like sort of confused and I'm like, maybe it's bad.
Sie tanzt im Licht mit einem Blick, sie bricht dir den Schatten.
Also, the accent is inconsistent. The accent of the singer is inconsistent.
Die Pflanzen der Nacht, wir fangen mit ihren Augen.
Basically, the premise of this, and I have so many versions of this, including here on Suno and Udio, and it is, I'm pretty sure I've mentioned this before. If you don't know what a djinn is, it's kind of like a fae elemental, like some kind of spirit being or supernatural being, depending on your definition. And there's a comic book from Belgium. She's very like naughty, dark fantasy seductress. It's a Belgian comic, which means it's probably almost entirely always in French. I don't even think it's in Flemish. There have been some English versions, or some English translations and some German versions. Do you want to freaking, like, load? And she's kind of, at least the stuff that I read that I found online, she's kind of, like, evil, basically. She's like an evil, naughty, bad girl. I don't think she's a good girl at all. Like, it's really naughty. It's also a European comic, so it's very sexy and risque. Because, of course, now it does have violence in it, which European comics are not necessarily usually violent as like in North America. It's usually more on the sexy end rather than the violence end. And way less censored in the sexy department area. Is that in English? It looks like it is. Okay, but the majority of the... Oh, is this in English too? Wow, it is in English. Okay. Anyway, I love this hair. This freaking hair is insane. And the artwork is actually quite appealing. I quite enjoy it. And she's basically like this djinn thing, whatever. And it's highly like seductive or whatever. So now I have another example of a kind of reference to certain audio clip. And there's two different renditions of its take on what I programmed it to do. And this is in English. I did this in English. It's so out of character for me, but usually when I do poetry, I'm more inclined to do things that rhyme by default, because that's how I am, but not necessarily always. And now I'm just kind of more interested in a certain vibe, so I've just been not doing the rhyme poetry usually, and I'll try and go with more of a structure maybe a prose or just a different kind of poetic style. I'm not amazing, but that's what I was going for. So.
Oh, as the gin queen, we need to collect you. Oh, girl, this will hurt bad. Oh, girl, your man will go mad. You hate us now, and oh, so mean. But once you feel our power, then you will truly oh girl, your man is turning. Oh girl, his lust is burning. Oh girl, I will break you. Yes girl, then we will take you. You can beat us, all chosen join us. Resistance is irreverent. Oh, as the gin queen, we need to collect you. Oh, girl, your man betray you. Oh, girl, and we will turn you. You'll hate us now, and oh, so mean. But once you feel our power, then you will truly see. Did you know he enjoyed every juicy moment with me? For I am the apex gin queen. Oh girl, your man is turning. Oh girl, his lust is burning. Oh girl, I will break you. Yes girl, then we will take you. You can beat us, all chosen join us. Resistance is futile. Oh girl, your shattered heart is night. Fertility of your anguish, tears and cries. We need to collect you. Oh girl, you may hate me now this very hour. Oh girl, you protest me loud but gain our powers. You hate us now, and oh so mean. But once you feel our power, then you will truly see. Did you know you will become one of us, and we can wait you out longer than you can. You'll fall into place, then surpass all lifespans. It's not really me, for I am the apex gin queen. Oh girl, you'll soon be turning. Oh girl, your mind is churning. Oh girl, I will break you. Yes girl, then we will take you. You can beat us, all chosen join us. It is inevitable. Deep inside you like it, deep inside you want it. Beneath the skin, we are already one. We're the last to complete our unstoppable dark troop. Unlimited power, my invulnerable gin group. Now give us your heart and submit. Oh girl, you'll
to write that to get it right. There's the other version. The other version, I'm not gonna play the whole thing now.
As the gym queen, we need to collect you. Oh girl, this will hurt, but oh girl, your man will go mad. You'll hate us now, and also me. But once you feel all power, then you will truly Oh girl, your man is turning. Oh girl, his lust is burning. Oh girl, I will break you. Yes girl, then we will take you. Can't beat us. Oh, chosen join us. Resistance is irreverent.
Here we go. So just a little.
We will take you. Can't beat us. Oh, chosen join us. It is
I like how weird that is. Anyway, so I have this concept, and it's kind of like this. There's this djinn queen, and she has like this other group, like this group of other dark fae djinn that she's collected because she's interested in like other women, and kind of like, I don't know if you've seen the movie The Craft. In The Craft, there's supposed to be 4 girls for the 4 directions or elements or whatever. It's like this old 90s movie. And let's see if we can just do this without the sound. And basically, there's these 4 girls. This is in the 90s. And they need to collect the final girl into that group. And when they all become, the 4 people in that group, their powers all, like, solidify, like, they gain their full powers and their full magic, and they can kind of just hack reality or whatever with magic. And, it's, really old classic whatever. It gets weird. It has a very typical, like, 90s ending, and then of course the one girl goes, well, they get kind of psycho, and it's whatever. it's a 90s movie. And so I had this kind of concept, like, this djinn is kind of like, she's like the queen one, and it kind of reminds me of, like, various John Keel or, like, weird abduction phenomenon of, like, I don't know whether it's ETs or Jinn or Fae or whatever the heck. And so she wants to collect this girl, and because I like Blümchen, it's kind of like a Blümchen kind of song concept or whatever, Blümchen Wannabe song or concept story or whatever. And it's like this kind of thought out tormenting of this girl, and she's very confident because she's a master of doing this, and she needs this final girl to complete the collection and enhance not only her own power but the group's power. And she needs to have this, like, posse of, like, these other girls that were used to be human and now they're turned into like dark fae jinn beings, and they're like immortal. And in order for them to do that, they have to go through this like hazing, and it's like this creepy dark fantasy thing. And of course, nobody wants to, like, when they find out like what they have to do, because at first it's cool, it's nice, when they meet the Jinn Queen. And this is my just weird concept. And then the price of it, the cost of it, is like, well, you have to give up your heart, and you have to give up like all of your attachments to like whatever. So of course, most girls don't want to do that. And then it goes into this other phase of like targeting and tormenting, and it's very similar to like in Pokemon they have what's called shadow Pokemon, which is a really horrible, brutal thing for the shadow Pokemon to go through this tormented, torturing process to become a shadow Pokemon, and they're like very powerful afterwards. If you know it, if you know that. But like, rather than Pokemon, it's like, well, you're being converted because you're some kind of unique special being, human, and for whatever reason, like your soul and your essence and your heart is like this specific category that these jinn want, and they need to collect you, and you're going to get assimilated like the Borg into their like jinn like troop, right? And they just need this one final person that's like a Blümchen kind of girl. And it's dark fantasy, like kind of creepy, right? But I like the concept because it's weird, and I don't know, there's nothing else, there's no stories like this out there, I just made that up. And so then I was working on other stuff. I have other variations of, especially like Blümchen, and there's a track by Blümchen there's certain songs from like the late 90s, mid to late 90s and early 2000s that have this kind of certain sound and vibe that's just it's just not common. And I liked, especially in this kind of this jinn concept thing. I could not get, there's a song from LSDJ, I could not get that. I could not replicate anything like that. And it's banned. So I can't do that one. But this is kind of my schlager.
Schenke mir dein Herz. Wir werden dich mit offenen Armen empfangen. Wenn du dich uns angeschlossen hast, werden all deine Probleme gelöst sein. Deine größten Erfolge stehen dir noch bevor. Im Garten der Djinn-Jungfrau.
Sure if I should have gone with Mädchen, but it went with Jungfrauen, but it doesn't really enunciate it as Jungfrauen, it just says Jungfrau, which sounds dumb. Okay.
Komm jetzt, du weißt, du würdest uns gerne beitreten. An unseren Freuden teilhaben. Widersteh nicht länger, du weißt, du sehnst dich danach. Du sehnst dich danach, uns beizutreten. Du kannst es spüren, ergib dich uns, schenke mir dein
So it has this weird kind of like, the concept is like this girl on girl like temptation, but like to be a part of like this power group of jinn, which is not actually meant to be like sexual towards her, but in the process and in the other versions of the lyrics and songs I've been working on for months as a concept, the Jinn Queen is like a long-term thing. Like, she's been through this process of collecting other girls into her Jinn group and converting them into a Jinn, and then all the other girls know what it's like, so they don't have their heart anymore, and so it's like a kind of tormenting, bullying, hazing, fun thing for their sick pleasure, and they will target whoever the new initiate will be, and seduce their boyfriends, turn them, break their hearts, screw up other relationships. Like, it's very psycho dark. Like, it's evil. And eventually, because it's just a never-ending process of mayhem and torment, the girls get broken and eventually give up and then submit to the Jinn. And then when they do, now they're going for like an upgrade, and now they're accepted into the group, and now they're like immortal, and then they kind of go like power trips and stuff, I guess. And so the character that's kind of like a Blümchen kind of a character, she's the final one they need to like collect into the group in my concept, and it's not working. And so she's very steadfast on her convictions, and she's gone, like, this Jinn has gone long term, and then it ramps it up and gets heavier and heavy-handed. And then at some point, the character, on principle, is just stubborn, and she's like, well, I don't have the power to stop you from corrupting my boyfriends or my lovers or killing people that I love or hurting people I love or whatever. And she's like, I don't want to give up my heart because, like, I care about the earth and I care about other people, and even though you've turned everything against me, I at least have the power to resist you, right? And that's her thing. It's like, I at least can do that, like this defiance thing, right? And so I like this defiance concept of not being corrupted despite all the horrors you've done to me. Probably because my life is a lot of horrors oftentimes. So
Komm jetzt, du weißt, du würdest uns gerne beitreten. An unseren Freudenteil erlernen. Die größten Kräfte, endlose Genüsse, ewige Schönheit, gib dich einfach hin. Ergib dich uns, schenke mir dein Herz. Wir werden dich mit offenen Armen empfangen, wenn du dich uns angeschlossen hast. Werden all deine Probleme gelöst sein, deine größten Erfolge stehen dir noch bevor. Im Garten der Jungfrauen.
that sounds kind of Blümchen-like, but also very AI slop-ish, but better than some of the other things that were trash. And this one I reworked the lyrics so that they would rhyme. It's not necessarily exactly the same vibe though, but whatever.
Komm doch, komm zu uns herbei. Du willst doch auch dabei sein. Kost unsere Süßigkeiten, dich zu wahrem Glück geleiten. Größte Macht und endloses Vergnügen. Kannst dir alle Wünsche fügen. Diese Schönheit, lass einfach los. Gib dich ganz hin, ohne Stoß. Ergib dich uns, hab keine Pein.
when I was messing with the translations or whatever, and I messed with various stuff. It seemed to want to go with Jin Maiden from my lyrics instead of Jin Jungfrau or Jungfrauen. I don't know. Should I have gone with Mädchen? I kind of wonder. I don't know. I'm not sure.
Komm schon, was zögerst du noch? Du spürst den Ruf, es war kein Spott. Wehr dich nicht länger, du weißt es ja. Du willst hier sein, hurra, hurra. Du willst dazugehören, fühlst es genau. Das verrät einer Herzensschrei. Er gibt dich uns, es ist so frei. Und dein Herz, das geht mir gleich.
Didn't do the hammer belt.
Unter deiner Haut sind wir schon eins. Ja, du weißt es. Komm, sei nicht so schön. Wir öffnen dir die Arme weit.
So there's that, and then there's this. I'm just.
Komm doch, komm zu uns herbei. Du willst doch auch dabei sein. Kost unsere Süßigkeiten. Dich zu wahrem Glück geleiten. Größte Macht und endloses Vergnügen. Kannst dir alle Wünsche flügeln, liebe Schönheit. Lass einfach los, gib dich ganz hin, ohne Stoß. Ergib dich uns, hab keine Pein. Übergib dein Herz mir ganz und rein. Wir öffnen dir die Arme weit. In unserer Mitte ist der Streit vorbei. Wenn du erst bei uns einkehrst, sich jedes Problem dir entwirrt. Dein größtes Glück kommt erst gewährt. Hier im Garten der Jin Maiden.
So yeah, you can I don't know, check it out if you want. But I don't know, my leg is busted right now. So these are like the newest, when you go to like my profile, like the newest stuff. I oftentimes change these things around. And don't I? There are various playlists you can look in. And those songs should be in the Blümchen Wannabe. Where is it? No, that's not it. That's Chikoya. Don't I have a list that's the Blümchen? Where's my other? Oh, Seymour. There we go. No, that's not it. What the heck? What the heck? What is this? Here we go. Wrong thing. Okay. See more. Okay, so it's well, there's this one. What the heck? It's probably clicked the wrong thing, didn't I? Is it like everything? That's just not what I... Playlist, see more. Here we go. Don't I have a... I thought I had a... Did I not set it to public? Alright, let's fix that. Playlists. Here we go. It says it's public. Okay, well, hopefully that's there. Do I need to save it or something? Okay. Okay, because why not? I thought I put like a different photo on there. Whatever. Um, Here, let's go back and see if it's there. View the profile. And is it there? That's not. I don't know what's going on. It doesn't show? What the heck? Why does it not? Am I not seeing it? I don't see it. That's weird. What? It's not showing on my playlist. I don't know. Maybe it'll show for somebody else? Why is that not showing? Whatever. You can just go to there's literally a playlist. Whatever. How is that not showing? Like the owl one is showing, the garden one is showing. What the heck? It's public. Oh, recent. How about top? Yeah, here's more. Let's see. Man, it's not showing on my lists. There's no show them all feature? Are you kidding me? Whatever, this sucks. I hate AI. Died. So people cannot, there's lists that you cannot listen to. What the heck? Why? That's dumb. I'm not happy about that at all. I'm so not happy about that. Like I literally just put these in that playlist. Like the playlist is right here. It's right here. And it has various versions, takes on the basic concept. Even like these junk ones from the older systems that I did not love. This was one of the concepts when did I first do this? Is there a date on this? October 20th. And I tried working on this concept on Udio at first, which was probably around the same time. Which I don't love Udio anymore. It's more frustrating and it's just not as good. Although they give me way more credits than before. See, Stadthaft in der Nacht. What day did this one go up? Is there a date? The 19th of October. So, whatever. I gotta be honest, when I first started messing around with the music, I liked Udio better at first until it would give me an attitude and not do anything I wanted. Whereas Suno actually would do things I wanted. When it comes to AI art, I hate it so much. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. As for AI music, I'm so divided on it because a lot of it sucks. I don't like it. However, I will randomly find the people that I do like. There are literally like actual musicians on here. So the hooks thing I don't really, that's another thing that's a feature on this platform is what's called hooks, which I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know. I'm thinking it's trying to be like how SoundCloud is, because there's like all these collaborative things that go on in SoundCloud, and which is not AI, or it wasn't. It might be now, who knows. Yeah, I don't love AI art at all. In fact, there's so many of these that look Absolutely hideous. Is this gonna show an image of it? No, it's because
Wir sind hier. Die Nacht
can't
wird
see. You can't see this, right? Can you see here that she has 4 legs under her dress? What the heck? Whatever. I can change it if I want to. I've been messing around on this platform enough that I have figured things out. It took me, I don't know, 2.5 weeks to figure out a lot of things. But I figured out various ways of programming the prompts. It's not exact. I'm also on like a unpaid version. The thing that I thought was interesting, because there's many demos on it, is their paid versions remind me of audio editing, like real sound design stuff. And it also makes like stems, if you understand what that is. My daughter hates it, and she doesn't like me to talk about it in front of her either. My daughter also does, like, not Vocaloid, but something similar. Like Utao. I think she even teaches, like, how to do it, and she does voice banks, which may or may not have some aspects of machine learning, but it's not the same. And she's very uppity about it. So, there are people back in the 90s that were insanely uppity to me because I listened to synthesizer music and house music, and I was told that it was not real music. So, yeah. Maybe I'll leave a link to these in the profile or whatever. I don't love these art pieces, these AI quote unquote art. Having said that, people freaking hate AI right now. Like, the backlash is crazy, which I totally understand. And that's my picture frame doing my Pokemon stuff. So I mentioned this one earlier today. This guy, wow. And then there's the backlash right now is insane against Windows 11. And I know I mentioned this earlier, but people are on my other vlog that I recorded today. I don't know when this is going up though. People freaking hate AI, and they absolutely abhor Windows 11. And if it's not Linux, exit or Brexit or whatever, it's people going to Mac. I don't necessarily think Mac is that much better anymore either. Oh yeah, and then of course, because I was already over there, I was already on my Suno thing. There was the owls stuff. Okay, so is it gonna show some of these things? The weird thumbnails. So I had this experiment that I played with a few times. For whatever reason, when I tried to do like the English versions of it, because I intentionally I typed some stuff, some basic stuff, like Maya concept, which I worked on over and over, but it was still kind of loose. And then I took it into different like AIs, and I was like, what do you think about this? And then even on this AI, and I had like some kind of a sapphire, I don't know, special sapphire, and owls. And owls have been a weird totem that have come and gone, and in the paranormal, like, contactee type things, that's a thing that comes up a lot. So I have a thing for like Sufi stuff and Sorowardi and Persian weird things. Weird, I don't know, weird is the word. Persian mysticism slash philosophy slash, I don't really consider myself a spiritual person, But I remember, especially in the mid 2000s, I was not a theist. I was so like unhappily agnostic because nothing made sense except agnosticism or an agnostic leaning. That was my default. Agnostic, Socratic agnostic, which I tend to still be. And I was very like anti-theist, which I still am, in varying degrees. Actually, no, I'm not a theist. I'm not even for the concept. I'm very much against it for so many reasons. I find it to be a toxic hierarchical, deceptive concept that is a misunderstanding from the perspective of being in a human body. That's my view of it. And Socrates is fascinating to me. I don't know everything about him, but he's an interesting person. I've read some of the stuff he wrote, and he's very logical, despite being a mystic. I don't know. I don't want to consider myself a mystic because I don't want to be like a guru, and I don't want to be one of those. I don't want to do that. I literally just did a whole long video today about Lala Dead or Laleshwari, whatever names you want to call her. So, this is my life right now. But yeah, so owls and sapphires and stuff in this is German over here, but these are various not German. Oh, this is I did an English version, or bilingual. That's a bilingual one. Oh yeah, and then I also did a bunch of. I took this sample of this indie band, like a clip out of their music, and I did credit them actually. Why does it? Well, whatever. And I don't know why, but I went with kind of the cliche stuff when I wrote these lyrics, and this one is a Consciousness Mountain, which I don't think works as good, but the Golden City cliche works kind of better. Do I have a playlist? Let me see. There's one. Yeah, here we go. Maybe it'll load if when I post the link, because I put those songs in there. Like, I've just put Consciousness Mountain in there. The thing with the AIs is I will literally make the melody myself, sing the melody myself, like that I recorded of myself, or played it on a keyboard in an app, upload it, and then it will not follow the melody at all. But then, like, I'll put a clip of someone else's music and hope and literally tell it, like, just use the style, don't use the melody, and it'll fucking use all of it. In the ensemble. And I'm like, that's not what I wanted. I just want the style. I didn't want the actual thing. So similar to 10 years ago. I'm really happy with how the lyrics, these are literally what I wrote. I wrote these lyrics, nobody else did, no AI wrote them, I wrote them. And I'm very happy with it, although the AI just oftentimes does not sing it the way I want them to. And are crazy. I feel like it says to me, because, okay, so I bring this stuff up. Here, let me do this. I bring this stuff up because, I don't know, it's not like I have an axe to grind or whatever, but like, about 10 years ago, maybe more than that, there was various things, projects and whatever, and not that I don't have frustrations working with AI, because I do, it's like a constant frustration, but with human beings, there's this, well, a lot of times what people will call ego, but I feel like it's like, I think hopefully people know what I mean when I say ego. But there are these clashing egos and clashing prides and tastes and preferences and egoisms and conceitedness and this clash of certain things working with other creative humans. And if somebody has a certain skill set, especially like in music, that I don't have all of it in, and I've tried, like I have some education in music, actually I had quite a bit when I was a kid, when I was growing up. I also played like violin, and I've done a lot of audio design, and I don't want to like trash anybody because I don't feel good about it. But I can be honest in like a critique or the unpleasant side of that. So a lot of people, when it comes to music is like food. It's very personal. Everyone has different tastes. Everyone has different opinions. Different people like different things. And I don't want to sound like a generic. I don't want to, if I'm making music for a project or an idea or a concept, and I had so many in my life, I don't want it to sound like generic. I don't want it to sound like generic pop music. I don't want it to sound like rock and roll. And especially when it comes to like beats or beat counts, I don't want a waltz, which is like a 6-count beat, or a 6/8, or an 8/8. And then I also have an interest in other kinds of percussion, such as doumbek or darbuka, which is like a Middle Eastern drum and variations of that. And my taste in music, the genres of music that I like, it's not like people don't know of them or haven't heard of them. But it's like I literally go to certain persons and they'll be like, I can help you. I'm awesome. I am your Superman. I am your Wonder Woman. I'm da-da-da-da-da. And I would sit there on either the phone, in text chatting, like back in Facebook days, and I would be like, okay, so do you know what I mean when I mean this? Do you understand? They're like, yeah, of course, that's easy. And I'm like, okay, so this is the stuff I worked on. This is what I wrote. This is the melody. This is I'm just not at the production producer part thing, right? Like I can do basic or sort of better than basic, somewhat better, like maybe intermediate, like sound design. But when it comes to like obviously I'm not EJ from like K-pop Demon Hunters or whatever at all, ever. And I know so many people who do music, and yet trying to work with anybody to help me to do like the things I wanted to do, which wasn't that many. And there was only maybe 5 things, or maybe a little more than that. And I would just be like, okay, this one thing, with this one whatever, right? I would want 4/4 beats. I want 4/4 beats. And then I also like fusion music, fusion is a thing with dance also, and other kind of variations of art. I think a lot of art is basically fusion overall, and fashion as well. And I'm like, okay, so here's the thing I would like to do. This is the thing I kind of like, but then I also like these aspects of it. And every freaking person would fervently insist that that wasn't a problem, that they could do that, and then never do that. Like, they would do something, and it would always be a generic pop song, try to make it a hip-hop song, a rock and roll song, which I did not ask for, I did not want, and you said you wouldn't do. Then gaslight me, change it, and because, they're so amazing and they're so awesome and I should just bow down to them and worship them and whatever. And it's not like I wanted to, it's not like I was, like if we agreed to something and you said it was cool and you liked it and you wanted to do it and you were happy to work with me because collaboration is fun and happy and stuff, why would you not do the thing? And then also go to this other effort to blow smoke up my ass, kiss my ass, and whatever. And then I don't know what to say because it doesn't sound anything like what I wrote, what I gave you, what you said you could do. And it's not like, I just don't know how to use the equipment you're using. Because if I did, I could make it be what I wanted. Right? And this was my horrible experience working and trying to do music stuff with other human beings. Oh yeah, and then the one person I was so excited to work with got arrested for CSAM, and it trended all over Twitter for the entire weekend of GoFest. Thanks. So I can't do that now. And he was very talented, amazing. He could understand what I was talking about. But he's canceled, and he's like a felon. And he hasn't talked to me. And I don't think that's going to happen at all, ever, for long lists of reasons. And I'm not trying to wag my finger or whatever, but that's so messed up. Maybe I should wag my finger. I don't freaking know. Insert the appropriate thing to say right here. Anyway, then of course there's David, who music was his thing. And then he just never bothered to do anything about that with me, even though he would hint overly that he wanted to, but then never overtly said anything, did anything, etc. And he probably could have done all kinds of interesting stuff, and he invited me to various musical performances of whatever. The thing with him I was more interested in was his interest in electronic everything, such as Moogs and synthesizers and transistor modulation, whatever. I'm a total freaking nerd for the Roland Hebe 303, referring to acid, if you know what that is. I'm such a geek. I'm such a geek with these things. Anyways, but he's dead, so that's not gonna happen. I kind of wonder if he was alive still, how he would think of AI now. He's dead now, so I think he doesn't freaking care at all, because he's just not of this world, unless it comes to certain things where he does have an opinion and he makes it known. That's another thing. But hey, I've been working with freaking AI platforms. This is what, like the third one, I think, that I've messed with, because there's another one that I did that was trying to do like lo-fi content or whatever with, which I don't hate lo-fi. I actually kind of like lo-fi, but AI lo-fi is crap. I have to actually cut it up to try and use it. There's this other platform I used for that a few years ago, which also, some of these things start off better in some ways, and then when it's really starting to get good, it will randomly start to suck, or the features they take away, or whatever. And then when it starts to do that, it also starts to suck more, like way more than when it first started. Kind of like Udio, which started off really strong and super good, and then it just went down the toilet. Anyway, yeah, my experience working with AI versus working with humans. I would love so much for my experience with music, and I have many times, I can't even tell you how many freaking times, so many freaking times in the mid to late 90s, because I used to do singing stuff. I've done all kinds of performance stuff, including dance, live performance, whatever, but especially music and singing and whatever. That was back in New Jersey. I think I did stuff in Philly too. Anyway, there are so many times I was approached by various persons who found out that I could sing, which I practice singing almost all the time now, except since I've been injured, so not really that much anymore. And that would always go nowhere. Sometimes I wonder if it was they were just bragging because they knew people, or maybe it was like a pickup thing, like they thought they could date me or whatever. I don't know, whatever. I'm not gonna, I don't really want to think about it too much. But if you were expecting to go to my music and expect like a generic, like, here, let's go to, let's see what's the generic top stuff right now. Because I can tell you oftentimes it's usually not my cup of tea. Okay, this one, what is this? Deep House Latino. It's very Alan Walker, because of course.
Under the candle, darkness feels the same.
Okay, let's go to the beats. It's actually not too bad, but that's actually kind of interesting. Okay, I don't hate it. It is very kind of sort of generic-ish, but I don't hate it.
I'm canceling the things that I did out to.
Yeah, I hate it. I don't like it.
Lost the war, I'm losing my silence chokes my life.
Everybody wants to sound like Zia and Ava Max, but without the electronic part.
Walk right in, my dear. So when it happens to happen, problems.
It's bedroom pop trap lo-fi? What? Okay, well that's different. Apparently that's a thing. Why is my screen black? Why is my screen black? Anyway. That was awkward. But yeah, so I find that most things have this, like, that's the problem with, so that's the thing. I don't necessarily hate commercialized, stylized music, because sometimes, depending on what I like, sometimes I'll like the commercialized versions better, especially like when it comes to like things like techno, which is all over the place. It's a broad umbrella term, and like my daughter doesn't like she doesn't necessarily like commercialized, happy hardcore, all for gabber or whatever, and she says she prefers like the non-commercialized whatever. I feel like it tends to be like just too housey, and I say that as someone who has taste in various kinds of house music. However, my issue with house music, by today's house music, it's very generic and boring, and even a lot of DJs, especially like one of the things I don't love is progressive house, which could mean anything. It's at any point. Another one, trap music. It depends on what you mean by trap music, because there's definitely songs that I really love that are technically trap music and pretty good. But then if I look up a list of or playlist of trap music, everything in it sucks. I hate it. I also almost entirely hate drum and bass. Drum and bass, I hate it. And a lot of so-called garage music, where drum and bass, as well as dubstep, came from. Dubstep itself can actually be kind of good, depending on the dubstep. There's lots of dubstep that I have a tendency to love, especially if it's like glitch hop, dead dubstep. I'm not really a Skrillex fan, although some people love Skrillex. I'd rather listen to Kratty. I think Kratty is better. Then there's like Bass Nectar, which is super popular, which I do think is good. I think it's good. I kind of like Kratty oftentimes more. And there's Ill Gates is another one. So it's like glitch hop and dubstep, which comes from garage music. However, original garage music, that's the two-step, which by the way is not drum and bass. This is how I know my stuff, because the beats are different. The two-step beat is dubstep. If it's not the two-step beat, which you can look that up, it's very easy, like Wikipedia, you can find it, is not the same as drum and bass. I hate almost all drum and bass, almost everything. There are very few drum and bass that I like. Otherwise I hate it so much. There are some remixes of some, like there are some tracks by Scooter that are technically drum and bass that I love, as well as remixes for Blümchen songs that I also love. Other than that, there might be like a track or two by Dune, this is like all German stuff, that are technically drum and bass that I don't hate. I don't like the breakbeat. I hate the breakbeat so bad. I hate it. 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 I'd rather listen to Amen Break. I like that beat better. That's just me. You can disagree. I also this is my opinion and I'm allowed to have an opinion. I feel that techno is several times better than EDM, because by today's standards, EDM is generic junk. A lot of times I'm just so bored with it. The 2012, even mid-teens EDM scene was kind of interesting, especially like Steve Aoki, Zed, and there's a few other ones. Is it Zed or Zeddy? And what was that other one? I was listening to them like a few weeks ago. I thought that was good. I thought it was great. And now, I don't know. Rave is all EDM, whatever stuff that is weirdly generic, overly polished, overly formatted, overly commercialized, and I hate. However, the 90s stuff, especially some of the commercialized stuff, I freaking love. And then there's weird stuff like, I think it's by Kronz. This is one of my favorite freaking weird-ass hardcore techno, like, edgy freaking songs ever. It is so freaking awesome. And then the weird soundtrack of which has a real film score that's sounds very similar to like the Tim Burton Batman kind of movies. It's super good. It's like a kind of horror sci-fi film. And then it has very weird, eerie techno stuff in it. And I have it. So many animators I went to college with also have this soundtrack. It is so weird. It's one of my favorite movies ever. I have watched this movie so many freaking times. I swear there is like certain lines I know by heart. I've seen it so many freaking times. It is a weird, dark horror. It does a weird like flip with the characters, which is kind of my favorite aspect of the storytelling of that film, is that the story, you start off the film and you think the white guy, which is Sam Neill, his character, you think he's the main character. But then as it starts to move on, he becomes more of a villain. And then the main character is Lawrence Fishburne's character, which becomes super awesome. One of the two main things that I loved about when the movie posters and the promotional stuff came out, which was on Sci-Fi Channel back then, this was in 97, I think, when I worked at AMC. I was so excited, not only because Sam Neill was on it, because I was a Sam Neill fanatic, fan. I love anything that Sam Neill was in. I'm watching it. And then I saw Lawrence Fishburne was on it, and this was before The Matrix came out. I loved anything he was in because he has like this movie magic with his face and his voice, when he's on screen. I don't know. It's this movie magic thing that happens. I watched him in this film, or was it a film or was it a miniseries? I think it was on HBO. Either it was HBO or Showtime. I think it was HBO. It was called Tuskegee Airmen, which was about this squadron of pilots during World War II that were all black, and they were the highest quality, best squadron of pilots. They were like a defensive unit. And that freaking movie was so good. There was so many good actors in it, but the person who stole the show was Lawrence Fishburne. I feel like I videotaped it, and then I rewatched it many times because Lawrence Fishburne has like this movie magic thing. He's also the guy from Pee Wee Herman, the cowboy Curtis. And I saw clips of that recently, and I was surprised at how really hot he was as Cowboy Curtis. Like, well, hot damn. And when I saw that he was going to be in The Matrix, that also was what interested me about The Matrix. Lawrence Fishburne is just so interesting as an actor on screen. I've shot films, I've worked on films, and there are some actors who, and by the way, you don't, not necessarily, well, he's beautiful. Lawrence Fishburne is definitely a beautiful looking person. But there are some people who, they might not have like the beauty thing going on, but they have this certain something about their face and their eyes and their voice or whatever it is on camera. And even like the performance like in front of me, like it's just there's some magic that happens there. And I've worked with some people that are like incredibly talented, but some people that are incredibly talented are not easy to work with. I don't exactly love working on films with people either. Not because I'm not workable, I am. It's just how many freaking times I have to bend over backwards and give concessions and compromise, and they're still unruly, so difficult to work with. Like, this is... I don't like to work with people that are hard to work with. I've worked with many kinds of people that are easy to work with, easy to get along, and then you quote-unquote hit it off. But, yeah. So, was there anything else? I wrote some notes and stuff just to make sure I covered everything. I was talking about, okay, so Daimons A.I.'s late stage capitalism and the owls. Okay, so late stage capitalism, because we have the whole conundrum, the whole issue with AI. AI, if you replace everybody's jobs, then nobody will have income to buy your products. So, then what? Because even like the robber barons had a whole scam going, which technically is illegal. It's supposed to be the United States of, we the people, of the people, for the people, by the people, democracy, republic, etc. However, everything is like this weird oppression and like debt slavery, or like a kind of debt slavery, corporate feudalism. There are so many things, like so many monopolies that need to be broken up. There's so many things that are legally on the books, in statutes and laws, but the representatives are not representing you. They're not doing their jobs. And this whole concept of the United States is just not functioning. It's broken. System is freaking broken. So, I don't know. What do you do? And I watched a clip. Actually, I should probably show this. I'll switch my thingy here. Let's cut. This happened today. Was this today? No, yesterday. Last night. Is it even gonna...
called it an eyesore. She couldn't afford groceries.
Oh, well, the cat has food. Jojo probably just wants attention. Right, Jojo? Anyway,
I guess Daddy's just
so this
Fined
is,
for
this
parking
is
a work truck at home?
this is
Not
an
in
issue.
Florida. The
Ah,
HOA
stab,
thought they had.
Stab. Yes, this is an issue with late stage capitalism. And this is not the first time I've heard of this. I've heard of this in Florida as well, where they passed laws a lot where they tried to make it, or they did make it, illegal in various places so you couldn't have an organic garden. I'm so confused because there are so many channels on YouTube of people making organic gardens in Florida, so I don't understand how that's a thing or that works. But I remember this was like years ago, and there's always some weird thing in the news about they don't want people to have gardens or whatever in Florida, and I'm like, again, whatever. So there was this vegan guy. There's this vegan guy that I watched his channel, and he did all kinds of garden stuff, and he got raided by the police for having certain kinds of lamps for his garden, and in a state where hemp and marijuana is legal, and he wasn't even growing those. So that's weird. Anyway, I guess, is that it? I thought about, there's so many, I always have ideas for stuff. I always have ideas for things, especially creative things. So the main thing, well, I don't know if it's the main thing. I have a tendency to kind of go to the AI music thing and play around with it. In a way, I kind of treat it almost like gaming, because I'm kind of gaming it. Like, can I get it to do this? Can I get it to do that? In a way, it's kind of like playing a video game, but with music and programming. If you want to look at it that way, I would kind of look at it that way. If David was alive, because I feel like his perspectives and his opinions of things when he was alive before he passed were certain ways, and now that he is passed, he has differing views on things, and he's made it known to me. It's a weird communication I have with him. I don't know how to explain it. It's a thing. It's an ongoing thing. It's not ever going away. And that's my life. That's my new normal. I don't, there's been a lot of things that have, especially last year, that have sidetracked me and sucked up my time and diverted me from things. And also a number of highly toxic personalities, people, troublemakers, people who absolutely, completely disregarded and disrespected my boundaries, in a repeat offender manner, as well as people who were highly manipulative of other people in front of me. And then of course there's nice people. There were some nice people, like there were Pokemon people that I really like a lot, and I don't have any issues with them. It's funny how, you know, there are people who can be civil, cool, nice, easy to go along with, and have varying tastes in music and whatever, and no problem whatsoever. Meanwhile, dozens upon dozens of other people are just so fucked up and no interest in fixing that at all. So I guess that's it. I guess that's it for now. And so I guess I'll just end this. If this video doesn't suck, when I screen it, I'll upload it. So